Hey guys, Anna here. Today we are in the world of Copperdale on this beautiful lot. I have raved about this lot in a previous video. It is one of my favorites. But today we are here and we are building a cabin. So this is a small family cabin and I wanted to create something. Well, this was created actually quite a while ago, but I've had the footage on my computer for quite a while and I thought, why not share it with you guys? So I did actually have to reopen my game and have a look at the actual lot itself and kind of see where I went and kind of see how it came about. Also with editing, I was able to do that. And the vibe is very much vintage. It's kind of like this is definitely a cabin in the woods. It's kind of something that's a little bit more dated. I definitely feel that it's very much that there's a lot of wooden tones from seasons, but some of the wallpaper is that like dated base game wallpaper, and I really enjoy it. But the kitchen in this build is also something that is a little bit dated. It's that country living kit, and it's interesting how it's obviously designed for cottages, but it's still kind of because it's still something that is a little bit, as I said, vintage-esque, it works for a cabin as well. So we are just working on the roof, and the roof was a little bit tricky in this one, but I used a lot of the copy feature, and I tried to use the same half-pitched roof and the gabled roof, and just kind of went around the whole build. I have been loving like high pitched gabled roofs. All of a sudden, I've just really loved how it's looked, but also like I'm still kind of on this journey with my roofing, but we are getting there. So this is basically the build. It's very tall. It's again, we're using it's kind of that craftsman style that you see a lot from seasons. So this kind of would actually suit the new pack. I would even go as far as to say this is obviously built way before the new expansion pack with Growing Together, which I did cave on, guys. I ended up purchasing that pack. That's because over on Twitch, we've been playing with the Bennett family, we've been playing with the infants, and it's been so much fun. And I just really wanted to experience the infants and the pack for what it was, just because I am a family player and I do feel I'm going to get use out of it. So lots of builds in San Sequoia. I am probably saying that wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I too feel that San Sequoia, it gives me a little bit of Willow Creek vibes. So it's nice to have, but the thing that I have with a lot of the lots there, I feel that they're very like rectangle as opposed to a square. Like what we're on today is very much a square. And I feel like it's going to be interesting because I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot of horizontally rectangle builds. I was really trying to word that. But you know what I mean. I don't do a lot of them. So it's a good challenge. So lots of builds to come. We are starting on the floor plan. So this is kind of the shell of the property. And it starts off with me placing the stairs. As you guys know, I always say to start with your stairs if it's a two-story build. It just helps with positioning. And I placed this half wall. And this half wall is genius. It's actually where the kitchen is in this property. So as I said, this is a 3x2. And I believe I think you do have all three bedrooms upstairs and then a bathroom upstairs, bathroom downstairs. And you have, yeah, so the kitchen, so you walk in, you've got that half wall, and the half wall kind of creates this place where the counters absolutely just fit so snug, and it looks like such a lived-in kitchen. But also the kitchen reminds me of something that I had in my house that I grew up in. I grew up in a very old dated house. My replica of my family home is actually on the channel. It was my Christmas build from last year. So I will link that down below for you if you'd like to watch that. But yeah, it gave me that vibe of it still kind of sectioned that space off so you knew that it was separate from the living room, but it very much still feels a part of that space. And I feel like a lot of old homes do that, where in some ways it's like semi-closed. It's semi-closed. I guess that's the best way to say it. It's not fully open floor, but it's semi-closed. In most modern houses, they would just knock it down and it would just be one big room, and they'd probably put like an island there. But I kept it this way and I really liked it. I did, as I said, this is the wallpaper I went with. It's that lemon color, but it's that base game wallpaper, and it's kind of like what I associate with being a bit vintage. We've paired it with the Jungle Adventure flooring. These wooden floorings look so old. I am obsessed with them. I love them. And for a cabin, they were perfect. And I really loved this kind of bay window section because I knew that I was going to put a bit of dining. And the color scheme of this actually ends up being, we really focus on the teal green that came with the high school years pack. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see it in a minute. And it just takes over the whole space. So we do try to use elements from that pack because obviously we are building in that world. I always like to do that. But I wanted to still like meet the brief of it being a cabin. So a lot of seasons went into this, all the windows and all the fittings. But I really enjoyed, I think we stick with these chairs. We might change them. Actually, I think we do change them to the solid, darker kind of green. We go through a lot of curtains. I remember that about this build. And in the end, we do go with those high school year curtains. The ones that are, you'll see these ones here. But we do change the color. And this is when I decided to really go for that turquoise green. It just fit the space so well. So yeah. And then I think I pair like white curtains alongside it. And it absolutely brings it together. And then in the lounge room, we do continue that on. At the time, I felt that these curtains were really good. Looking back on it, I don't actually think I needed those white curtains. So maybe before I put it on the gallery, I might remove them. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, whether you like those white curtains. I am not sure, but yeah, I think it's good. Again, if this is a little bit too quick, we will obviously go through again in the tour. But one thing I really loved about this home was I think I got the scale right. And what I mean by scale is no room feels too big and no room feels too small. I feel like everything is like perfect. So, which is something that like when I do create floor plans on grid paper or just in the Sims in general, I do consider because, you know, you want things to be functional, but you still want it to be aesthetically pleasing. And you definitely want there to be flow and cohesiveness into the space. Okay, so again, so what I really like is we're actually from the angle of where the kitchen is, and I just really love how you can just see straight into that living room. Like you could be cooking dinner and watching TV, and I love that kind of feel. Yeah, so I was able to do that in a very effective way where it's still kind of, it's like you're entertaining. I used a lot of high school years in here. I really loved these wicker chairs. I thought that they were really cool. Again, they kind of play on that bohemian style that the high school years pack had. And I think we go in with, I don't know if no, we don't stick with that rug. Is it a high school years rug that we stick with? No, so we actually go with this parenthood rug. And I think I do it because of the blue. So that blue like matches the throw rug on that couch perfectly. And I think that's why I went with it. And looking back on it now, the rug does actually look a little bit more modern than the rest of the house. But I think that checks out because you don't want everything to be super old. Okay, I, believe it or not, think that piece from the pastel pop kit, that shelving, I actually think that it's not overly modern, and that's why I used it. I actually think it fits the space really well. And obviously it goes hand in hand with the pack. I feel like the pastel pop kit was a really, really good kit. Like, and I slept on it. I originally was like, probably not going to use it. I feel like I use it in every build because it's so spot on for like, if you want to do like crazy feminine Sims or obviously, you know, your children and teen rooms and just like really like some of the stuff is just perfect. Like that bookshelf, just the lines on it are very clean and it fits the space. And then I love like these bit of homely photos or pictures, that we're using. This just brightens up the space and it also kind of mimics the artwork that's in the cushion on the chair. I just feel like, floral prints, but also the floral prints that is in the skirting, not skirting, sorry, it's like the skirting, but the ceiling skirting. You guys know what I mean? The flowers. So yeah, it just seems like that's their vibe. It's a very kind of sunny place. Like you walk in and it feels very inviting, and I just really love that about this house. So I did decide to put like a faux little kind of study nook in here. I do this sometimes if I have the room in living spaces. I think that computers in the game are just so useful, and whenever you're playing, you want to have that. Chess table, I was about to say. I don't think I put anything into the neighboring room where the stairs are. I don't think there's a lot of room. I think I do put a plant though. I do think it's an interesting way that the stairs are positioned. I think we'll see that in a minute. But yeah, no, I think it worked out all right. So this is the entryway, and I kept it very simple. I actually used a buffet table from, I think it's Cats and Dogs actually. And again, I really liked the way that, no, cottage living, sorry. Again, so as I said, the cottage living pack, seasons, high school years, and the theme of the house that we're building, it's all kind of in that realm. I do feel like they overlap a lot. A lot of the stuff in Sims does, obviously, and the reason it does is because it's intentional. They want things to be cohesive. So a lot of their assets, they have to be complementary. There's not really much point in producing a pack that's entirely different and left field to every other pack that they've created. So that's a little bit why, you'll see where, you look at some packs and go, that looks very similar to what we already have. It's probably intentional. All right, we are in the downstairs bathroom. In this bathroom, I like to use the same counters from the kitchen. That plays on that cohesiveness. Very basic bathroom. I think we just put some towels on the counter. Yes. Yeah, just pink. I really loved the pink in the counter space. So the curtain bit, so we've just ran with the pink theme, and there's pink in the little flowers on the mirror. I told you, running with the floral theme. All right, what else is there? I think I just put some kids' toys again because, and I do this in a lot of the homes that I've been building currently. Obviously, with the new pack, I am a firm believer that you'll have toys everywhere because in real life, that's how it is. Like the kids. And it's probably easier. Like I know my gameplay with the infants has been so much easier when everything is accessible. And that's kind of a tip. They're not too bad. I do find that infants without the pack, because I experienced them first with the update, are a lot more difficult. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's to do with the glitches, because sometimes I have glitches where like my Sims just will not do what I've asked them to do. And that's created a lot of issues with caring for the infants. But I also feel like with the milestones, because of all those added quirks, that's what's making the infants a little bit harder. Because, if they're a fussy eater, it's going to be harder to feed them. If they're, whilst without that update, you don't have that quirk. So that's kind of what I meant by purchasing the pack, so that with my, I don't know if it's a let's play. I don't really know what it is. I just really wanted to get onto stream, get on Twitch, and just create and just have a family and just try everything out. But I'm just becoming so attached and I've really enjoyed playing. Okay, this is what I mean with the stairs. I actually don't put railings. Something about that just looks really nice to me. It looks very simplistic, and it just has one of those big fern plants, and I love that plant. That's just a base game plant, and I think it fits the space so well. I wonder if we do we do a full bath? Yes, I think. I have no idea if that is functional. Yeah, might be functional. I will have to test that for you guys and then let you know, because that does not look functional. I should have, in theory, made that a half bath, like just a toilet and a sink. But I think I was just trying to make it a 2-bedroom. Because in later content, I've been trying to do that. If you can't fit a full bathroom, just even if you can fit like a half bath, it is helpful. I do apologize if you can hear a squeaky toy. I have a 3 to 4 month old puppy and he is probably playing. Anyway, we are in the master bedroom of the home, and I went with this Seasons bed, and I went with this cover that had that kind of, it's like a cream beige goldish tone, and I paired it with all the Seasons set, and I really loved how it turned out. It's not the same shade as the wall color, but it's in the same kind of color family, and I just think it works so well. And I threw in a bit of green, and I think that's because I found, there's a bit of green in those bedside table lamps, and I just really enjoy this space. Oh no, I've changed it. I placed that rug and then I just wanted to bring out more orange. This is just such a warm toned room and I really enjoy it. And I think it's just going to have the basic stuff I usually put in it, just a bit of clutter, some books. And I love that standing mirror from Jungle Adventure. That pack, I slept on that for ages, and I'm telling you, if you're doing the same, please just purchase it. Especially if you're a builder, you will absolutely enjoy it. I actually haven't played the gameplay element of that, and I need to. I need to definitely get down to that world and just play. This is like a pre-infant nursery. So this is back in the day when we didn't have infants. I've been building nurseries for ages, and it's funny because the nurseries I used to build I actually think are nicer than the ones we have now. It's because I've been so interested in just playing that I kind of feel like I rush my nurseries, but that's going to change. I will make sure we've got a couple of builds coming in the next couple of weeks that they're just everything's going to be about the new pack. There's so many family homes because this is the type of gameplay that I enjoy when I do play. It is that legacy type family play. So this stuff is right up my alley. But this is just for a bassinet because obviously we at this point just had object babies. Okay. This is a child's room, I believe. It could go as a teen's room. I just really enjoyed using that bohemian style that we carried on from downstairs. And there's something about a bay window that I'm obsessed with. I love using beds and framing them in this way. And it's such a pretty room. This is my favorite room of the house. I really love the color scheme that we use. Again, pastel pop. We've paired it with, I think, even werewolves. I think that trunk is from werewolves. I really like it. Do we change where this desk is or do we get rid of it? I feel like it doesn't fit. Yeah, we get rid of it. Yeah, we might get a single teen desk. I think it's important to have some kind of desk there for your sim. And I put a slablet just because, I always forget that they exist and they're actually so handy. And I've been playing with infants and toddlers and I for some reason did not have one of these in my house. And I'm like, why? What is wrong with me? They're so helpful just with gaining skills. So I kind of copied what I did downstairs where I used the high school years curtains and paired it with those base game curtains that I'm obsessed with. And I've done it upstairs here, and obviously I've pulled from the pink. So that pink pastel pop kind of mirror object, I've used that. And I think it looks really nice. I think, yeah, am I bringing a bit of yellow into this space? Yeah, I think I am. The yellow and the pink is such a beautiful combination. So yeah, I think that is the majority of that room. I think we are just adding some final touches in the hallways potentially. All right, and then we are back outside and I'm just adding some fencing and I think we're going to get started on the landscaping. Yeah, so the first thing I do when I often landscape is I start with the terrain paint, and I start with the terrain paint because I like to map out my landscaping. It just makes it easier for me to kind of grasp how I want to create garden beds, where I want to put plants, where I want to put paths, where I want to put trees. You get the gist. My recent builds, I've decided that I will do landscaping off camera. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's something that you're for or against. The reason I've been doing it is I just feel that it makes this process so much more quicker. and you can have like a shorter video. But if you're not really phased about the video length, I could definitely keep all of this content in there for you. As this was filmed a long time ago, I would even go as far as to say this was probably filmed December, even a long time ago. That's why the landscaping is still in. But if you enjoy this, if you want to see, it's basically how I do it is I pull from debug. Sometimes if I'm not phased about the cost of the home, I will just use the normal build and buy. But I use debug definitely because it gives you some options that you wouldn't have in the build and buy catalog. So yeah, and High School Years has a very solid debug menu. I actually haven't seen the debug menu for Growing Together. I hear it's pretty good. There's these yellow daisy looking flowers that are like top tier. So that's really good, really exciting. But High School Years is just got really good debug. So I literally just did that. Open debug and these white flowers and these daisies, these little daisies, and there's just the greenery. It just really sets the tone for this build, and it just pairs with the outside of this lot and everything, because this is such a beautiful lot. You got the waterfall there, and you just want to use the debug menu because that way it just blends in like so easily. And yeah, so I think we're just going to set up like maybe a table and chairs. I am going to go in and obviously fix up the landscaping because like watch, I'm just putting dirt under these plants and like just look how much it like lifts the space. It just gives so much life. The power of terrain paint, people. I love it. But yeah, I do I don't mind this home. I think it looks okay. I definitely think it's cozy, and I think that it would work really well for like a small family. You would have to upsize though eventually. I am just going in with a Seasons chair. I love the purple shades in the Seasons pack. I think it's really lovely. And just creating like a little back porch. It's funny because the back porch and the front porch literally look the same, so it's hard to know which is the front and back. I know because I built it, but like it may be hard. I do think I moved this more over to the center of the path. I could be wrong because I really struggled for space. Yeah, just moving it over. But yeah, I think that that's it, guys. We're just going to add the final touches and then we will be going into the tour. All right, so we are live in game and we're just going to do a very quick tour of the home. So as we just went through the landscaping, I won't spend too much time on the landscaping again because we did just watch the footage of it. But again, I went into debug and I just went to town. A lot of those favorite flowers that you will see all surrounding this beautiful neighborhood. I just love how the house just very much fits the area. And yeah, just very nestled in. Right, so we're going to go through the front door and we are very much welcomed by that beautiful kitchen. Again, I think having this half wall was absolutely genius. And I really love the feeling that this gives. It's very vintage, but it's very homely. It's just so cozy. Again, I think I could get rid of these white curtains. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below what you think. But yeah, no, other than that, I think it's a really nice home. Very small home. Perfect for like a young couple, maybe. Maybe a newlywed or like a family who is looking to have a baby. You would obviously have to upgrade because of the sizing. So we don't actually have a bathtub, which is quite disappointing. I just realized that. So this is your downstairs bathroom. And this is your stairway with just the plant. Again, I just think it's simple and it works. The upstairs, the very questionable non-functioning bathroom, I don't know if that's functional. And then we have the very warm tone master bedroom, which I absolutely love. And then around the hall, we have the nice kind of warm chocolatey tone nursery. I love this bassinet. This is from Realm of Magic, and the Sasquatch is from the Little Campus Kit. And then you have the child's room, child's teens, whatever you would like. And again, just really love how the combination of packs in this space have just created something very cohesive. You know, you've got werewolves, jungle adventure, high school years, space game, pastel pop. You got it all in here. You got some kids' room stuff, parenthood. It's all happening, but it all works. And I think that's it. So that is the build today, guys. If you have joined us for this length of this time, I want to say a big thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to subscribe. There is a lot more where this has come from. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.